So I plan to sell off all of my investments in order to buy a house without a mortgage, and I've gotten so many questions. So in this video, I want to clear up everything, and I'm going to use my friend Trading212 to help explain everything, as this has been my pal for much of my investing journey, and hopefully when things are getting back from ground zero, Trading212 will be there to help me pick up the pieces or start again with investing. So when I was 27, I found out that investing was a pretty huge deal and that most people should be invested because their financial future is very important. If you could get to a position where you no longer are required to work, for example, financial independence, then your life can change and you can do whatever you wanted to. In fact, I liked those YouTube videos so much that I myself became a YouTuber, and now I'm a full-time YouTuber and have been over the past 2 years. And I've gotten to the point where I have nearly £200,000 invested within my various accounts. Here's just one example, my stocks and shares ISA with Trading212, but I do have others. So I've made a decision, even though I haven't actually gone through it, of selling all of my investments off so that I can buy a house outright without a mortgage. And a lot of you seem to be concerned, even though this is my life, so I'm going to explain everything from the beginning. But if you would like to sign up to Trading212 and receive a free fractional share worth up to £100, then all you have to do is to follow the link in the description box down below, or you can scan this QR code appearing on the screen right now. Alternatively, if you've already signed up to Trading212 over the past 10 days but have not received your free fractional share, then all you have to do is to press the 3 horizontal line menu over here. Then scroll all the way down until you see the section use promo code, and in this section just enter the code JUBAIR and you should receive a free fractional share. So the most frequent comment on the video is, why do I not get a mortgage? Because I can easily afford the deposit, 10, 20, 30%, and then because mortgage rates are typically cheaper than the average stock market return, I'm essentially just having good cash flow whilst also preserving most of my stocks and shares ISAs, which can grow at a higher rate. And I completely understand the argument, but if I hadn't made it clear in my previous video, I'm going to completely try to avoid interest. Now, this is because of religious reasons, and I don't expect everyone to understand this, and I'm not surprised that that's the case. Also, online, there aren't many people doing it like this, and I want to show people that it is possible to actually buy a house outright if you are a Muslim and try to avoid interest. Yes, the first person that does that is going to get slated, they're going to get hate, they're going to get unsubscribers, but I actually don't mind. It's taken a long time to come to this decision. I thought about it back and forth, what will people think? But now I'm genuinely okay with my decision. I do want to avoid interest, and I'm going to show you even on this Trading212 account that I've switched off interest, but we'll get into that in a bit. It is possible to live a life without, interest. Yes, there are some things that you can't avoid, but that is going to be just a test of, everyday life. So as I said, I have turned off interest for a couple of months at least, and as you can see over the past month, absolutely nothing was given to my account. However, as you can see, I've always been transparent in this channel because it is literally Dr. Jubair's finance. My all-time interest gained was £5,446, and these were from qualifying money market funds. Yes, there are debates as to whether or not you are allowed to take interest as long as it's in line with the Bank of England, for example, inflation, but I want to avoid all interest because I firmly believe that interest is prohibited in my religion. It's clearly stated, and I understand people who want to keep up with inflation, but as far as I'm concerned, I want to completely avoid it. So that in this account alone is giving up £12.85 every single day of the week, as you know, because Trading212 does currently give, daily interest. That's not all. I do have a considerable amount of cash outside of this. So yeah, in total, it's probably around £16, £17 of daily interest I'm saying no to every single day just because of my faith, and I've actually never been happier. Now, in terms of the interest that I have taken, I do intend to purify this by giving to charity, something I already do. I don't like to speak about giving to charity after doing it because I think that takes away from it, so I don't actually go deep into that. Now, in terms of investing, now I only invest into Sharia compliant funds, which again, I'm very happy to do that. A lot of people won't understand that, and a lot of questions regarding what is interest. It's very clear that interest is lending or borrowing borrowing cash money and then expecting something on top of that. A lot of businesses can actually succeed through investment without having to rely too heavily on interest. So it's very possible to still invest into great businesses without having to rely on interest. For many years, I thought interest wasn't that bad, but then I looked into it and I realized that a lot of root causes of a lot of problems do come from interest, and interest was prohibited even in the UK not too long ago. But since its introduction into the Western world, wealth inequality has become greater than ever. It's especially true in today's world where if you are already poor or if you are already in debt, it's just going to spiral out and out. And essentially, debt slavery is a big thing. Again, I'm not trying to change anyone's mind on this. I'm just giving you my reasons as to why I don't do this. Now, let's talk about the stock market and if it's a bad decision to just go for a house outright instead of a mortgage. Well, we know that over the long term anyway, the average stock market returns has, for the S&P 500, for example, been around 7 to 10%. And over the past few years, it's been well in excess of 10%. Again, past performance is not going to guarantee what's going to happen in the future, but a very conservative performance figure is around 6% average. And of course, mortgages are around 4 or 5%. And you could be thinking of cash flow. The mortgage is cheaper than investing, so surely it makes more sense to go for a mortgage. But as I've explained, I'm going to avoid interest, so I'm not interested in any sort of mortgage, any sort of borrowing against my stocks and shares or anything like that. Now, there's another thing about the stock market that a lot of people don't want to, draw attention to, and that is eventually there will be a stock market crash. It could be in 20 years, it could be in 50, 60, 70 years, we just don't know. But if I were to start again from zero, I would have absolutely no worries about a stock market crash. In fact, I pretty much would love one because I'm starting again from zero. And essentially, if I've already bought the house, my biggest expense, and the stock market crashes, it would be an amazing combo for me anyway. I know the rest of the world can suffer, but the stock market really isn't the entire story. And another thing that has always interested me is the actual journey. I actually did love going from whatever I had to £100,000, and I'd love to do it again, and I'd love to document it. I know a lot of these channels that started, from my time and before, they now have massive portfolios, and a lot of you can't relate with that. So starting again will show people that, it's very possible to make a big purchase and start again from zero to reach, 100,000 plus. So here are essentially the numbers. I have just over £190,000 invested across my various investment accounts, not including my private pension. That's going to remain there until 57 or whatever the private pension age is going to be in the future. So in terms of where I live right now or where I want to move, an average 4-bedroom house costs around £180,000 to £250,000 for a pretty decent one. Of course, you can pay more to get a better house. I don't need the biggest house in the world, but I also don't want the smallest house. So technically, I have just around the right amount right now invested to buy a house outright, which means I will need a bit more for solicitor fees, for maintenance fees, an emergency fund, etc., which I probably have if I check my accounts. So financially speaking, after investing for about 5 years, I'm in a position to buy a house outright. Once the house is bought outright, rent is no longer a thing. Yes, I will put money aside for maintenance. Council tax is still a thing, and some other charges like bills and stuff are still a thing, but it's going to be less than my rent. In fact, my current rent is actually really cheap because of where I live, but the rent alone would cover maintenance, council tax, and probably all the bills. And that will slightly reduce my outgoings, and of course, accommodation is one of the biggest expenses ever. So I'm looking for a 4-bedroom house. It's going to give me at least one room to make into a studio, so it should improve my content creation. And not only that, I'm going from zero again, so I have a lot to talk about, and I'd love to share the journey again. Alternatively, of course, I could rent, but the renting market around here in Scotland isn't that great. For a 4-bedroom house, we're talking about £2,000 per month, which is ridiculous because right now I'm paying way less than half for a 2-bedroom. For some reason, 2-bedroom is the sweet spot here, but buying or going through a mortgage is significantly cheaper here than renting. And of course, with renting, your landlord can increase the prices. Also, if it's not your own house, you can't really customize it and you can't really live in it. For me, my family is the most important thing, especially as it's growing currently. So to have the space is something I'm actually willing to pay for. And I never ever thought that I would actually sell out of my stocks and shares ISA before, getting to 1 million and then taking out 30,000-40,000 pounds per year tax free. But that being said, I haven't actually made the decision right now. Part of me is very tempted to put the money in the stock market right now, especially as we've seen some dips. I'll show you. For example, this fund here, which I actually am invested into, about 30,000 to 40,000 pounds in another account. This is down by over 5% over the past month. It's very tempting to put money in here and assume that it will go up by 5%, which is obviously not the case. As you can see, the full picture shows that, since 2020 or 2019, the fund is up by 112%. But you can see over the past month, it is down. It's very tempting to think that, buying now, I'll get a free 5% quickly. But that's not how the stock market goes. Of course, if I put all of my money in here now, and then, of course, the stock market crashes, it's not impossible that the stock market is going to crash because of all the crazy valuations we're seeing, especially with companies like Micron, which since 2013 is up by, 7,348%. Something unheard of in my entire investing journey until now. Massive companies that aren't even like meme stocks that are up this much. But again, anything can happen. I could put my money in now, it could double, or I can put all of it in. But the risk is that I probably won't be able to buy a house until the stock market recovers, which again could be 10 to 20 years. Nobody knows. So make sure to check out some of my other videos and I'll see you in the next video.